good morning. This is episode 5. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to call this, but basically coming off of vacation mode. We just had Christmas and the New Year 2022. Today is Saturday, January 8th, and this is my home office here in Houston. And basically, getting ready to head to the gym. So I've made my list of exercises to do. Wife and I slept in late this morning and been reading and watched a little bit of TV per se. Then we made breakfast, and as I made my list, I said, I have time to do a video. So I guess the challenge I've had this week is just coming off of vacation mode because I'm always running and gunning, so to speak, and in the chase. And of course, with my new fractional time allocation, it seemed like I was getting that implemented right away and making traction with it. Then we got hit with vacation, right? So typically in the past, I haven't taken time to rest, and so once I got into rest mode, and of course I spent time with my family here, and we had a great time for Christmas and New Year's, and looking forward to 2022 like I hope many of you are. So my party thought is, coming off of vacation mode, so we're getting ready for Monday. I'm going to be re-implementing my time allocation, fractional allocation model, and thankfully I've been having some great conversations with people that are really interested in it. And one of my friends, Damon Whitesell, who is in the process of reinventing himself, if you will, but also implementing a lot of the things that he's learned over the years for effective cause. And so with that being said, ultimately he asked me to do kind of a more in-depth video. So what I kind of explained to him over the weekend, actually over the week, I think I talked to him on Thursday, is that what I wound up doing is basically creating a spreadsheet where I list all the things that are important to me Monday through Friday. Even Saturday, like today, is more of a flexible day, and then of course Sunday is time for church and family, that kind of thing. So, but during the week, the work week, I said, what are all the things that are important to me? And I just listed them, not necessarily by priority, just as they came to mind, and even reflected a couple days later to pop in some new things that I had forgotten to put on the list. And then once I did that, I wound up saying, well, how much time am I willing to contribute or commit to these things? Some of them are paid work. Some of it's not paid work. Some of it's self-development. Some of it's my own education, of course, my own company. And so I started to allocate, basically for me personally, in 5 hours a month, or basically by month, right? So what I said, I'm willing to allocate, 5 hours a month for this, and maybe 10 hours a month for that, and maybe 15 hours a month for this. And then, so I kind of lumped it up in 5-hour increments per month. And then once I did that, I started saying, okay, what does that look like per week? And so for some of the things that are 5 hours a month, that's about an hour and 15 minutes a week, and I think that's what the numbers come out to. It adds up to 5 hours, right? So 15 minutes, a day or every other day, or even a half an hour, as I broke it up and I started planning my schedule out, basically, from there, right? So that being said, when I do the more in-depth video, I'll explain it more. But basically, I have my schedule planned out for the whole year with some flexibility, because the thing is, everything I do is not necessarily a hard and fast rule like the 4 a.m. schedule. Thankfully, I did share that on my last post, where if you want to be a part of the 4 a.m. early risers, of course, people freak out. Like, not me, I won't get up that early. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to someone who really wants to make changes in their life. And what I have learned, is that, hey, this is actually working for me, where I can get up at 4, not necessarily every day, although that's what I'm heading to for this, getting to the groove of 2022, starting on Monday. Because this last week I did get up at 4, but I may not have, been committed to my schedule like I was. And, I kind of saw like, hey, I need to get back in, but now I feel like I'm getting back in, right? So the challenge is for us in 2022, if you're in the same mindset, is getting off of vacation mode, getting off that rest schedule and getting back into the game. So this, as we looked at the seasons of our life, as I mentioned in one of my videos, if we break up the seasons for the year, some of us are in the winter, the spring, the summer, or the fall harvest, right? And so right now, where I see that I'm in, as I get prepared for the spring, is I'm actually in the spring now. So I want to start cultivating, planting seeds, reaching out to folks, developing, new models for myself personally in every area of my life, and then starting to prepare for the summer, because I think it's, next, spring and summer is going to be pretty heavy hitting for myself, because I really want to, I'm so excited about all the things I'm working on that I definitely want to get a lot more planned before we head into the fall of next year and in the winter of next year, right? So begin with the end in mind. So thankfully, these New Year's resolutions are not resolutions per se, because I don't do those per se, but, basically I've made a commitment to commit. And that's basically as simple as it gets. But that means activity, that detailing every area, time-wise, that I spend, and of course, making maximum use. So today I was mentioning I was reading some books, and so one of them I'm finishing is Aspire by Frank McKinney. And he's kind of one of my heroes. I've known of him for about 15 or 20 years. Got to meet him here in Katy when he came through last month. And I actually been communicating with him on Facebook in a private chat as I read the book. I just see so many more insights into who he is as a man, what has inspired him, what encourages him, what lifts him up, and all the things that he values. And of course, his passion is for us all to detect our highest calling, because that's really where happiness and joy really resides. You can only accumulate so much wealth and so many of the nice things in life, but if you don't have your family and you don't have a thing that you're contributing to that's bigger than yourself, then you kind of lose and miss the mark, so to speak. So with that being said, I just wanted to get an episode done. Basically, I guess I'll title it Coming Off Vacation Mode, Getting It in Gear, or something to that effect for 2022. And again, I always welcome your ideas. If you have some great ideas on things that you're planning to do in 2022, big visions, big dreams, definitely looking at goal setting, because I've never really done goals before, although I've had an internal clock on that, I guess, and the trajectory that I'm going on is in line with what I believe I'm called to do. And so now I'm implementing and developing specific goals. Like one of my goals for 2022 is to get down to 20% body fat. And then of course I made mention in another video that I want to do more 5Ks, and ultimately one of my goals is to hit a marathon within the next 6 to 9 months. So I'm in the process of running my first K. There's a one here in Houston called the Hot Chocolate Run. And in fact, if you're interested in being a part of that one, I'll go ahead and get my I guess, what do you call it when you sign up, membership or your candidacy or whatever. I'll pay my dollars basically to say, hey, I'm running this thing. But my friend Jimmy Burns is also going to run as well. And of course, we're also rallying other like-minded folks that want to be a part of this as well. And then looking forward to 2022 for other fun runs. There's one that's coming up, or several actually, in Galveston area. There in the oceanfront area. And then, of course, there's different ones for different causes. And so I'll make a list of the ones I think I'm going to run and basically make a plan to run it. And then, of course, I'm building up for at least a half marathon. So I'll be getting some training there. There's an app that I mentioned earlier in one of my videos about from couch to marathon. I may not run a marathon, but I'm not leaving it out. But right now, my goal is to at least run a half marathon. For my weight and size right now, I don't know if I could do a full marathon, but who knows? We'll just see how everything goes. And then again, I'll be getting more into marketing applications and business development applications. One of my buddies, Artie Yoder, just posted something for Houston Networking News, like, hey, tell us a little bit about your company or what you're doing so that we can support. So I wanted posting one that I'd like for you to take a look at. It's called bloodofchrist.us, bloodofchrist.us. And it's one of the many ventures that I'm working on, marketplace ministry, or as Frank McKinney says, philanthropic capitalism, if you will. And so over the years, had an opportunity to work in media, work with celebrities and people of influence, authors, actors, and people that have been featured, stories made about them, and who have dedicated their lives to their mission and have demonstrated great faith. Just bringing a spotlight to what leaders are doing in the body of Christ, and then how we're helping to meet the needs of the people, because that's really what we're called to do, is to be the hands and feet of Christ, right? So if you go to bloodofchrist.us, on the front page, you'll see kind of the vision. I may do a video for that here pretty soon, because I've got a lot of blog posts I need to post and videos I've already done, and some other things that we have in the works that we're planning. And then looking forward to the rest of the day. Saturday, I'll be at the gym for a couple hours today. Like I mentioned in my other videos, I usually allocate about 2 hours. So on Saturdays, that may be 3 hours. So I'm hoping that to spend at least 3 hours in the gym, just really focusing and listening to my music or listening to whatever I'm listening to. So, because sometimes I listen to business stuff, as I mentioned earlier. But now I'm more in the zone of listening to music today. So when I get back and get ready for doing a little bit of work in my office, then I maybe spend a couple hours, and then my wife and I are going to maybe watch some movies and kind of hang out, that kind of thing as well. So, one of the things we're doing too is we're going to read a book together. So, a lot of times I recommend books, and we started some books together, but, she may or may not be as interested as maybe I am. But one of the things that she's always been interested in is Van Gogh. And so a couple of years ago, I bought her a painting of Van Gogh. So, I mean, not a real painting, but a replica painting from Amazon, and I hung it up for her to look at every day. Starry Night, I think, was one that she really liked. And then my daughter, for Christmas, I think it was, or her birthday, made her a puzzle set with all of Van Gogh's artwork, and so I thought she might be curious, and so am I, about Van Gogh's biography. So we're looking for maybe a short, interesting read that showcases his work. And if you got a recommendation, please let me know. But I'll be looking to purchase one of those books on Van Gogh to learn a little bit about his life mission, because he was a master artist, but had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to get there. So have a great Saturday. Again, I appreciate your comments, your likes, and your shares. And you can always reach out to me. I always put my phone number there in the comment section. And if you have something you're working on, you need help with, definitely want to align with other people that are like-minded. And again, pray that you have a great Saturday.